All right, let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bullpen. In the Bullpen today, we have him back, Mr. Grayson Quay. He's now news editor at the Daily Caller. Mr. Quay, congratulations to your promotion. Welcome to Indisputable.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Richey. It's a pleasure to be back.
Pleasure to have you here. We're going to talk about the rising opposition inside of the GOP for president of the United States. Many are now coming out saying they are going to run against Donald Trump. Trump, as of earlier this week, was the only person to announce he's running for president. All right, only one. Now, Nikki Haley has said she's running. Sarah Palin has basically said she wants to be a VP pick of Donald Trump. Marjorie Taylor Greene wants that same job with Donald Trump. Governor Ron DeSantis wants to also run president of the United States, but him scared to say it. All right, I don't want to presume what you know, believe about these items, sir. So if you would, give us your sentiment, I will then opine.
Well, I think it's shaping up to be interesting. Regardless of any preferences, it's certainly going to be good content. I think basically we're looking at three different categories of candidates. You have Trump himself, you have, and then people who are kind of vying to be the Trump candidate. I would put DeSantis in that category. You have people who are looking to co-opt aspects of Trump's legacy while putting some distance between themselves and him. I would put Pence if he runs, Pompeo if he runs, and now Nikki Haley in that category. And then I think you're looking at people who are going to try to position themselves as the anti-Trump candidates, who I would say have no chance of the nomination. Someone like Larry Hogan or Chris Christie.
What about Senator Tim Scott? He's an interesting dynamic here, all right? He has no chance of winning the Republican primary in this atmosphere. And it's not because he's a black senator, partly because he's a black senator in the GOP. But there's also this dynamic of his why. According to his exploratory committee, I would say, he wants to run on a message of unity and hope and coalition building. Would you agree, dear brother, that is simply not where the GOP is currently?
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. They want the base wants a bare knuckle brawler in there for sure.
What do you think happens? Pence, I think, will get in. Obviously, Trump is in. DeSantis may, he may bow out. I'm not sure, but I think Pence is in. What kind of dynamic do you think that presents for those who are voting in the Republican primary? Now, let me preface this. Most Republicans are not hardcore Trumpites. Most of them are not. But if you get Pence, Nikki Haley, and a couple other people, that splits that particular base. Trump has an opportunity to consolidate. And the way we run Republican primaries, it's a plurality. It's not about 50% plus one. It is really about who can consolidate the most consistently. And Trump in that scenario, in my opinion, would be able to consolidate more consistently than these others. What are your thoughts on that?
So I actually wrote about this in a column I did recently. In 2016, Trump has a lock on about a third of the Republican base in the early primaries. Of the first 15, he wins 10. He only breaks 40% 3 times.
Yep.
Now, if you took Cruz, Rubio, and Kasich and combined all the votes they got in those first 15 primaries, that candidate would have won 14 of them. So the votes were there to beat Trump in 16. They just didn't all go to the same person. And several of the people in Trump's orbit actually talked to the Washington Examiner back in December, and they said basically nothing has changed. He has a lock on about a third of the Republican primary electorate, and the rest are willing to consider someone else. The question is, are they all going to vote for the same person? And if we end up with a crowded field, that answer is probably no. The only person I think right now who can beat Trump is DeSantis, but he needs to figure something out with these other candidates and get them out of the race before Super Tuesday.
DeSantis doesn't believe in himself, I believe. I think he's hesitant to really swing back at Trump because he's afraid of what the backlash can be. I agree with you in sentiment. I actually believe DeSantis can beat the guy in a Republican primary when he actually engages, does debates, travels. I don't like DeSantis. I don't like his politics. I think he would be a more effective, let's say, bad policy presenter than Donald Trump. Donald Trump was sloppy. So I don't want either one of them. But there tends to be this, for lack of a better word, professionalism with DeSantis that did not exist with Donald Trump. But let me ask you this, because not many people are talking about it, brother. What about a Trump and DeSantis ticket? And I'm saying this because Sarah Palin said, hey, I see DeSantis as a presidential candidate later, not now. Well, usually that route will be the VP, later becomes president. We already know Trump wanted Mike Pence to be killed. Who would actually support this ticket? Probably everybody in the Republican Party. Why do you think that has not been a conversation? You literally have Trump, DeSantis. That's probably the unbeat. You can't beat that ticket in the GOP. Why has that not been discussed?
Well, I don't think Trump likes DeSantis very much. I think it's as simple as that.
You think he likes Pence, brother? Wait a minute, brother. You think he likes Pence?
Well, he doesn't like anybody Pence anymore.
Right.
I don't think Trump picked Pence back in 2016 as an olive branch to the evangelicals who were worried about voting for a foul-mouthed, twice-divorced adulterer. I don't think that he's particularly interested in making that move again. I think he's won those people over pretty well. So I think for his VP this time around, he's going to pick somebody who is A, extremely loyal to him, and B, who can get out there and be an attack dog for him.
I believe Trump is not going to pick a white male. No matter which way he goes, I don't think he picks a white male. Do you disagree with me?
I'm not sure about that. I'd have to think through the candidates. I could see it being someone, like you said, like maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene or something, or at least Stefanik, perhaps.
Yeah, very sad state of affairs, brother. All right, I appreciate you being on the show. Thank you, sir. Always a pleasure. Thank you for your insight.
Pleasure was mine.